गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू पैसा बोलता है। पैसा बोलता है में आपका फिर से स्वागत है। आई एम टॉकिंग अ लॉट अबाउट IT companies because the current flavor of the season is IT. Why do I say because the current flavor of the season is IT? Because the first results of all the listed large cap Indian companies normally comes from IT companies. Two of India's largest IT companies had already declared their results within the first 15 days of the quarter, and both results were disappointing. Today I am going to talk about a company which analysts feel perpetually disappoints the investors and has not done justice to its investors, nor has it fulfilled the complete potential. Today I am going to talk of one of India's oldest companies. This company was started in 1945. This company was then called Western India Products Limited and was started by a man called Mohammed Premji. Mohammed Premji was from Maharashtra, or western part of India, and that's why it's called Western India Products Limited. And even today, it's called Wipro, Western India Products, abbreviated as Wipro. They basically were making vanaspati, ghee, and vegetable refined oil. They were making refined palm oil, sunflower, and the brand was known as Kisan and Camel. This company was running for the first 22 years, only making these consumer products. The company went public in 1947, and even today there are a lot of Pakistani shareholders of this company where property stock is held as enemy property. In 1947, Mohammad Premji was offered the post of finance minister by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan. He refused that offer and the company was being run by him. In 1966, Muhammad Premji died very young of a heart attack. He had two sons. The elder son was not interested in running the business. It fell upon the second son, Asim Premji, who was 21 years old and who was studying at Stanford University in the United States. He had to leave his studies halfway, come back, and take over the family business. He decided to expand it into various areas and grow the business. If you look at the way this business grew, the years between 1970 to 1980 was very important. He moved the company basically from oil to technology, but does not mean that he abandoned the consumer care business, as we will see. He tried a lot of business. Not many people know today. He had Wipro Leathers, a stake in trying to make leather manufacturing, which failed and he shut it down. And there was also another company called Wipro Finance, which also he shut down. At that point of time, Premji himself was not sure of which companies will do well and which will not do well. He hired a lot of people from IIM and IIT and started marketing and distribution into rural areas. He decided to continue his vanaspati business and vegetable oil business, but he was looking for other businesses to expand. In 1975, he started making hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, and this company was called as Wipro Fluid Power. He also started making soaps, later acquired the Santur brand, and then he started making hardwares, baby care, and other products. He also included diapers, went on to buy the Yardley brand for Southeast Asia, and made Wipro Consumer Care a big business. But this was always integrated in one business. And people told him that one of the reasons why the shares were not doing well is because the consumer care business was dragging down the performance of Wipro IT. At one point in the early 2000s, I suppose, he decided to separate his consumer care business and make it privately owned and kept only the IT portion as an existing separate business. Not only did he move on to hydraulics, in 1992, he decided that he would do lighting and he did Wipro Lighting, which was a very successful business. The whole idea of starting lighting business was that he would be able to tie up with GE. But unfortunately, GE said they would have only one joint venture. And in 1989, Premji had done a joint venture with GM, General Motors, to develop and distribute throughout India and Southeast Asia ultrasound devices and medical devices, which is even today a very successful business for him. And he decided to go lighting business on his own, and Wipro Lights is still a main business. So today his consumer care and lighting business is a separate business. He has fluid dynamics and healthcare in one business, and finally IT. In late 1970s, when IBM was thrown out of India, he decided to manufacture and supply computers to Government of India. He also assembled printers, and Wipro printers were modeled on Epson Japan and were sold across India. So he had Wipro computers. Sometime in late 1999, he tied up with Acer to make laptops and manufacture computers. Along the way, he started to develop software as a division to support domestic software requirements and then went on to become an export to service export markets. Over a period of time, he found that the hardware market was not doing extremely well. That was spun off separately as Wipro Peripherals, and he sold that company. His main businesses today are only in IT services. He still owns more than 70% of his company and runs Wipro with a tight fist. One of the accusations of Premji is he does not give free hand to his managers, and that is why no CEO or CFO has been able to make Wipro a powerhouse. But the fact remains, he is the only one with the skin in the game, and his managers do not have skin in the game. In 2020, Wipro completed 75 years. He also signed in 2013 to the Giving Pledge, where he decided to give 50% of his wealth to charity. He has given away a lot of his wealth to the Asim Premji University, which is doing yeoman work in education. If one is patient with Wipro and holds on to it for a very long term, you will definitely make a lot of money. But if you are in a very great urgency and want to make a quick buck, Wipro is not a stock for you to invest. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग पैसा बोलता है। पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। मैं सिंगापुर आ रहा हूँ 29 अप्रैल। सिंगापुर में हॉलिडे इन में एक इवेंट है। बहुत सारे हॉलिडे इन हैं सिंगापुर में। मेरा इवेंट हॉलिडे इन एट्रियम ANIHG होटल में है और उसका नंबर 317 आउटरैम रोड सिंगापुर 169075। Once again I tell you the address in English. It is 317 Outram Road, Singapore 169075, and the name of the hotel is Holiday Inn Atrium. I will see you in Singapore. Thank you for supporting Paisa Bolta.